Hello there. It's been a long day, but I'm determined to share this information with you. As you can see, I'm in my hotel room. I've been in Jersey for a couple weeks. For all my followers, supporters, clients in Jersey, what up? So, I want to talk to you about some limited beliefs. And there's a lot of noise and chatter out here in these social media streets. And you might be wondering what to believe and really how to select a program to help you achieve your results. So, just allow me to clarify some things for you. Before I get started, in case you are new or just recently started following me, welcome. My name is Kamala Brown Washington, and I'm the nonprofit founder. I've had my organization for over 14 years, and I'm the creator of two programs. One is called the Profitable Blueprint, which is a masterclass for nonprofit founders with an online program who are looking to generate, consistent revenue. That's a masterclass. And I have a mastermind called Million Dollar CEO that's designed for nonprofit founders who are a bit more seasoned, and they may already be at the six-figure level, but they're looking to, catapult their program or their business model to sustain or to build a infrastructure to support seven figures. Okay, so those are the two online programs that I offer. So there are, certain limited beliefs that all of us, fight to various degrees, which are limiting your progress in business. And your limitations, are canceling out opportunities, which may be the very thing that you're praying and asking God to do. So in essence, you're destroying the same thing that you're asking for. And here's two or three examples. You might be asking God for a way to quit your 9 to 5 so you can run your business full time, but yet you refuse to implement, the necessary strategies and systems to generate consistent revenue in your business because it makes you uncomfortable. It's stretching you. Okay. So write this down. In order to give a testimony, you must first be tested. The word says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. And even Frederick Douglass said, if there is no struggle, there's no progress. So just understand that that is a part of the process. It's going to be a little sacrifice. It's going to be a little pain. It's going to be uncomfortable, but it's all going to be worth it. It's all a part of the process. Prayer doesn't change the process. It might help you get through the process. But all the praying, all the fasting in the world is not going to change. The process is the process. Okay. So second thing is, you might be asking God, to make your business profitable so you can stop self-funding, but you're not willing to, invest in yourself and learn the best practices from coaches who've walked in your shoes because you fear the imposter syndrome. Write this down. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. Okay? So you do your part. He's going to make the provisions for you. But, we're all imperfect. And you have to be willing to be authentic and be vulnerable at times in front of your audience so that you can build what's called the know, like, and trust. They get to know you, then they get to like you, and then they trust you. And once you build those three things, they're going to invest. because they're going to trust and have the right receipts that you're going to get them the results that they're looking for, whatever that happens to be. Okay. The third thing probably is, you're asking God for a mentor or a coach to, work with you, but yet when you do hire one or when you enroll into someone's program, you don't show up and do the work that's required. Because you would rather sabotage yourself instead of facing the fact that maybe your passion isn't a business. Write this down, okay? It's much easier to monetize your expertise than it is your passion. Sometimes a passion is just a passion. It's just a hobby. It's something that you just enjoy doing. But every idea isn't meant to be a business. And, no business will be profitable without generating revenue. So you need to be able to trust your coach as you strategize on your particular business model, on the program that you want to deliver to your audience, and more importantly, the program promise. What result do you promise that your program is going to accomplish? You have to be able to identify with your audience, with your niche audience, and be very, very, very specific on the one problem that your program is going to solve. So you can't worry about trying to be everything to everybody. You need to niche that down and be very, very specific and be very clear and communicate and articulate a concise message as to what your program does. That's the way that you're going to attract the right audience to your program, i.e. paying clients versus, clients or an audience that's not a fit, that's not going to show up, they're not going to pay, they're looking for, something that you just do not deliver. Okay, you need to find out where your tribe is, where your village is, and you need to dominate that platform with clear, concise messaging. Okay. So it was really interesting. I was thinking about this the other day. When we had started opening doors, this for my nonprofit, we started opening doors for ex-offenders and creating opportunities for them to secure employment. Some of them, once they got the job, they felt so uncomfortable that they stopped going to work. And then, we really had to start rethinking and digging a little bit deeper into the psychology inside of our, program, because it is a pretty big leap, when you think about it, to go from, a jail cell to being in an office. The vernacular is different. The culture is different. The terminology is different. The atmosphere, everything is completely different from what they've been accustomed to. And so there's this feeling of, they just don't fit in. And anytime you don't fit, even though the dynamics are better, and even though you've been praying for it, you can cancel it out because you end up going back to what's comfortable, even if it's disturbing and self-destructive, because it's familiar. So, in other words, you'd rather live on the level of your belief. And that's why there's a high percentage of repeat offenders, because many times they become institutionalized. And every time they get out, they'll mess it up till they can get sent back again, because that's the world that they know. And that's what's familiar. It's predictable. And it's not that they don't want better. It's not that they don't like the idea of being free. But when freedom came, it looked completely different from the reality. And it's hard to adjust to change. I get it. Some of you know, despite having a biological son, there was a time that my husband and I were trying to adopt a child so our son could have a sibling. And so there were, two boys that we were considering at two different times. And as much as they wanted to be adopted and be a part of a family and find their forever home, they just could not get past their previous ways. And each of them on separate occasions, keep in mind we had them at separate times, separate occasions, but each of them lived with us for close to a year. So we really invested in them financially and emotionally, and we worked with them, provided therapy, and literally met them where they were and gradually tried to bring them up to the level of our son, because they were literally only like a year apart. Now, at one point, my son was 9 and the other one was 8. And then our son was 10 and the other one was 9. But when they asked for things and we gifted them with what they asked for, they couldn't handle it. And so they ended up going back to their old ways and either breaking it, losing it, or just not taking the time to really learn how it worked, because that's what was safe for them and familiar. So it was easier to break it, lose it, or ignore it than to be responsible. Okay. So in terms of your business, I hope this is kind of, resonating with you. But in terms of your business, I clearly want you to understand that nonprofit is a tax status. It's not a business model. And so you have to determine if you want to have a nonprofit business or a nonprofit ministry. And a business is going to generate revenue by charging a fee for a service, a product, or a membership. For example, there's hospitals, universities, museums. They all provide a product, service, or a membership. Still nonprofit, still generating revenue. I'm not saying don't write grants. I'm not saying not to have a fundraiser, but those are designed to help you supplement your income and your revenue. Okay? So grants and fundraisers are income. Fees that you charge is revenue. Okay? It's called earned income on your 990. Okay? But a ministry is going to provide free services. And so it's not right or wrong or good or bad. It's just a different model. For example, if you have a food pantry or an orphanage or most shelters or some type of disaster relief program, those are free services, definitely needed. But again, it's a different business model. So you really need to determine what type of business model that you want to have. And does your business model equate to generating revenue? So I work with nonprofit founders with an online program who want to establish a profitable business. And they're not afraid to monetize their expertise by solving a problem for their audience. And, they're not, our clients within our program are so successful because they're not falling under the limited beliefs of society about how society feels a nonprofit should operate. Okay. So we think and we believe on the level of the people that surrounds us. That's a tweetable moment. Okay. So think about that. We believe and think on a level of the people who surround us. So if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to be in a new room, because you'll never grow up. And for example, how many of you cook greens and black-eyed peas on New Year's Day? Okay. If you don't have greens and collard greens on any other day, you had better have them on that day. Okay. Especially if you're in the Black community. Okay. Because we already know. Okay. And I don't even care for black-eyed peas, but on that day, I'm going to at least have a have a spoonful of them, okay? Because it's our culture. It's what we're supposed to do. It's not written in any book. It's not in, the scripture, but all I know is when you go to the grocery store, after Christmas, the greens are gone, the black eyed peas are sold out. Okay. So again, we believe and think on a level of the people who surround us. Like that's our environment and that's what we end up believing. Right. So in terms of your business, I want you to clearly understand that the people that you surround yourself with, your network, they can seriously determine the fate of your business if you're not aligned with people who are progressive and who are making change. And they are not, as I call, they're not in the age of the Flintstones. They're more in the age of the, Jetsons. I know I'm probably dating myself. But, we can't, especially as nonprofit, we seem to continuously work in this realm of it's always been that way. Or that's the way that, society wants us or expects us to be or to, operate. But times have changed. Not all nonprofits have to have a brick and mortar. You can still have a nonprofit program that's online and reach more people, cast a much wider net, make your program national, make your program international, just by incorporating a hybrid or some type of virtual, component. So I want to know what belief that you have around your business. Okay. Are you able to clearly articulate the program promise, the end result that your program offers? Are you able to articulate that effectively in order to attract the right people to your program and repel those who are not a fit? Do you believe that you're undercharging for services? Do you believe that your expertise is undervalued? Do you believe that if you are able to implement proven strategies and processes that your program will transform more lives and become more sustainable? If the answer is yes to any of that, then you need to align yourself with a coach to whom you resonate with and who's walked in your shoes. Doesn't have to be me. It can be someone else. But as long as you're getting the right advice and the right information in the right direction with a proven system, that's what's most important. But if you do resonate with me and, maybe you're filing an e-postcard or you're trying to get to a 6-figure, level in your business, then I invite you to apply to the Profitable Blueprint. If you're already at a 6-figure level and you're trying to build your infrastructure to support 7 figures, then I invite you to apply to $1 Million CEO. Okay. So I'm going to wrap up. It's been great just dropping some nuggets and some wisdom on you, and prayerfully I can be an answer to you in some way. I thank you for following, supporting, engaging with me through comments or DMs or whatever that happens, to be. I really want you to feel encouraged and not block blessings that are in store for you because of limited beliefs that you might have. Okay? So let's stay in touch. Let's continue the conversation and just understand that there has to be a certain level of discomfort for you to get to that next level. Okay. But I'm here with you. I'm here for you. And I look forward to the impact and the transformation that you're making.